Welcome everyone to the second episode of Tuesday Transfer Talk, where I'm going to be talking about the biggest transfers that happened in the last week of football. During the past week, there have been some crazy transfers on the transfer market. Big players worth big money going to big clubs, and we're going to talk about it right here in this video. So without further ado, let's get into the biggest transfer that happened in the last week, and that is that Declan Rice is leaving West Ham and joining Arsenal. The price that Arsenal are going to have to pay West Ham is supposedly £105 million. That is a crazy amount of money. In my opinion, I do think that this is a much needed transfer for Arsenal, as there have been many rumors of Thomas Partey possibly leaving the club and going to Saudi Arabia. I think that Declan Rice has shown in the past year or two that he is an amazing defensive midfielder in the Premier League, and I do think that he is going to help Arsenal in the coming seasons very much. Again, I do think that this is a great transfer, but £105 million is a crazy amount of money. Like, that is one of the most expensive English players in the history of football. So again, I do think that this is a good transfer, but because of that price tag, I'm gonna have to give this a 7.5 out of 10. The next transfer we got is Kim Min-jae is leaving Napoli and joining Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are set to trigger the release clause at 50 million euros, and they will have Kim Min-jae for the next 5 years until 2028. Obviously, me being a Napoli fan, I am sad that Kim Min-jae is leaving. In the past season, he has shown how great of a center back he is, and that he is one of the best center backs in the world. But I do think that this is the right move by Bayern Munich, because 50 million is a great price for, in my opinion, one of the best center backs in the world. And I think that alongside De Ligt and Upamecano, Kim Min-jae can really help out their team. And for that reason, I think that this is a great transfer by Bayern Munich, and I'm gonna have to give this a 9 out of 10. Next up, James Maddison is leaving Leicester City and joining Tottenham for £40 million. The length of the contract has not yet been confirmed, but in my opinion, I think that this is a good signing by Tottenham. In the past few seasons, I think that Maddison has shown that he is a great attacking midfielder, and realistically, I think any of the top clubs in the Premier League would be happy to have a player like him. Obviously, Leicester City did get relegated this season, and because of that, they're pretty much clearing out their whole squad, and they're gonna start fresh. So that is the reason why James Maddison was available for a fairly cheap price at about 40 million. Sadly, since James Maddison is going to Tottenham, I doubt he's going to win any trophies in his career, but nonetheless, this is a good transfer by Tottenham, and I'm going to give this a 8.5 out of 10. Next up, Marcus Thuram is joining Inter Milan on a 5-year deal as a free agent. I honestly think that this is a great transfer by Inter Milan, because they lost Dzeko this summer, and honestly, Lukaku's future at the club is very uncertain. No one knows if he's going to go to Saudi Arabia, if he's going to stay in the Premier League, if he's going to go somewhere else. It's very uncertain with Lukaku. And with the loss of Edin Dzeko, another big man striker like Marcus Thuram is the perfect replacement. Thuram has shown that he is a pretty good striker in the Bundesliga, plays for the French national team, and coming as a free agent is very good. I think that Inter Milan did a great job with this signing, and I'm going to have to give it a 9 out of 10. Next up, Mason Mount is leaving Chelsea and joining Manchester United. The contract is set to be a 5-year deal, and Manchester United will have to pay Chelsea a fee of £55 million. In my opinion, I think that this is another good transfer. It's another example of Chelsea clearing out their squad and starting fresh, and this is another opportunity for United to have another attacking midfielder in their lineup. Mount has shown that he is a great player in the Premier League, but there is certain times where he does struggle, just like last season with Chelsea. I do think that this is a good signing for Manchester United. It's not the best, but it is a good signing, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Next up, Dominik Szoboszlai, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is leaving RB Leipzig and joining Liverpool. Liverpool triggered his release clause at 70 million euros, and he will be joining the Reds on a 5-year contract. I've been hearing a lot of people online saying that 70 million is way too much for Szoboszlai, but in my opinion, I think he is an incredible player. I haven't watched too much of the Bundesliga last season, but I have seen a few games from Szoboszlai, and having the ability to play as an attacking midfielder or even as a winger with great dribbling, great shooting abilities, I think that he will be a great help to Liverpool. I think a lot of Premier League fans don't really know about many of these Bundesliga players, just like they didn't really know about Haaland. A lot of people thought he was going to struggle in his first season. He made the Premier League look like a farmers league, alright? So I think this Szoboszlai guy is a good deal. I think this is a great deal. 70 million is not too much in my opinion, and I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Next up, Milan Skriniar is leaving Inter Milan and joining PSG as a free agent. The length of the contract has not yet been disclosed, but in my opinion, this is an incredible signing by PSG. Obviously, me being a Serie A fan, I've watched a lot of Skriniar in the past few years at Inter Milan, and he has been an amazing center back for them. I think that sometimes these players in other leagues that don't play in the Premier League get discredited because they don't play in the Premier League. But if you've watched Skriniar in the past few years, you will know that he is an incredible center back. Amazing physicality, strength is crazy, tall defender, amazing pace, and I think he will be a great help for PSG in the next few years. And the fact that they got him as a free agent is absolutely incredible. I'm gonna give this a 9.5 out of 10. Next up, some more action from PSG as they have signed Lucas Hernandez from Bayern Munich. The two clubs have agreed on a 45 million euro fee, and Lucas Hernandez will be a PSG player for the next few years. In my opinion, this is another good signing by PSG. Obviously, since Lucas Hernandez is leaving Bayern Munich, that is one of the main reasons why they decided to sign Kim Min-jae. But in my opinion, he is a very good center back because he has the ability to play at the center back position or also play in the left back position, and I think that this is going to be very important for PSG. 45 million is not too much in my opinion. He is obviously of French nationality. I think he will fit right in with PSG, and I think that this is a good signing. I'm gonna give it a 8.5 out of 10. Next up, bbÄ is leaving Chelsea after many years, and he is joining Atletico Madrid. He is leaving Chelsea as a free agent, and his contract at Madrid is supposedly going to be a 2-year contract valid until 2025. bbÄ has been an amazing center back for many years now, but in the past few years he's been starting to slow down a little bit. He's not as fast as he once was, not as aggressive as he once was, but I do still think that this is a good signing by Atletico Madrid. Obviously, they have a very defensive heavy play style, and with bbÄ being a good leader, I think that he will really help them on the defensive side of things. And the fact that they got him as a free agent too, obviously that's always going to be a great deal. So for that reason, I'm going to give this a 8.5 out of 10. And finally, the last transfer of this video, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is leaving Chelsea and joining AC Milan. AC Milan have paid a fee to Chelsea of 16 million euros plus 4 million euros in add-ons. In my opinion, this is a very controversial signing because Loftus-Cheek has shown that he has good qualities and he's shown that he is a Premier League worthy player, but he's been at Chelsea for so many years and he hasn't really shown any top talents. So I do think personally that this is a little bit of a pointless transfer by AC Milan. I don't really think that he is going to make the starting lineup on their team. And yes, 20 million euros is not like a stupid amount of money. Obviously, he has a little bit of English tax, so I wouldn't say it's a bad transfer, but in my opinion, it's probably the worst transfer on this list so far. So for that reason, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. And that is all the transfers I have to talk about today in the second episode of Tuesday Transfer Talk. In the past week, there have been some crazy transfers. A lot of players joining new leagues, new clubs, and honestly, I think it's amazing. This is probably one of my favorite times in football because you get to see many different players try new projects, play in different leagues, play with different players, and it makes for some incredible entertainment in the next season. So I hope you guys did enjoy this transfer talk, and if you did, make sure to leave a comment down below and stay tuned for more videos.